Okay, hi y'all. Are you sabotaging yourself? Um, I mean, let's be real. Probably yes. Um, because I mean, we all are. Uh, I think that's pretty clear. Like, it just is. Um, have you noticed that, like, when you're looking at other people, it's super easy to see that they're, like, standing in their own way? They're sabotaging themselves. Um, Super easy. You're like, oh, John, why don't you just do this? Or just don't do this. And then you're obviously going to feel better. It's so obvious. You're in a bad relationship. Leave. Like, all you do is complain about it. Just leave. Or, marry. Uh uh what's wrong in Mary's life? Mary, eat healthier. I mean, it's so obvious that you're making yourself feel like sick. You don't have any energy, you know. Just like eat healthier food. Don't just drink soda all day, Mary. Just don't do it, okay? Like, it's not that hard, you know? Or exercise. Get some exercise. Oh, you sit around all day. No wonder you don't feel well. You know? Why don't you go for a run every day? I mean, it is really easy to do this with other people. It's so easy, and it's also just a joy. It's such to know what's good for someone else is such fun. But seriously, try to do that to yourself. Try to do that with yourself, and see what happens. I mean, I think we do that all the time too. We tell ourselves we gotta do this. We make New Year's resolutions. Every freaking year, we're like, oh, this year I'm gonna do this. This year I'm gonna make this change. This year I'm gonna do this. Whatever. And then we've all failed. We've all failed with our New Year's resolutions. Okay? We don't do. And why is that? Seriously, why is that? If you really look at it, what is it that is making us all sabotage ourselves? Get in our way. Getting in our own way. Standing in our own way. Blocking ourselves from doing what we whatever, want to do. Why? With ourselves, we feel the huge power, the force of whatever the hell it is that's holding us back, that keeps us stuck, that makes us do the same crap over and over, day in, day out, year in, year out. Once you get older, you see like, oh man, I've been doing this for literally 20 years. And then it's hard to argue that someone else is doing this to me. It gets harder and harder to argue that. Because it sounds insane. If you're saying like, oh man, I can't do this because, Sammy's doing this to me and I can't do it because of that. You just can't do that anymore. You can do that when you're 10 years old. It might seem really real. Maybe it even is real. But later you're like, you can barely even say it anymore. the strength of whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it our education, our past. Whatever we went through, whoever taught us. It's in here. And it is, it's like a mountain. So we can't do it. We can't stop drinking the soda every day. We can't start exercising. We can't leave the relationship that we should leave. We can't study more. We can't go to the job interview. We can't apply to the job. We just can't do it. Because the stuff that's piled up against it, against our like motivation or our ability to act, almost our agency, it's too strong. And if it goes on long enough, man, years, you start to like just, what am I supposed to do about this? What can I do? Then you take some drugs, avoid it some more because it's overwhelming, and then it gets worse. I mean, it is brutal. But yeah, you could definitely argue that it's like, it's all sort of self-sabotage. But I think the word is also a little bit, it's a little wrong. Because it's not like you are sabotaging yourself. It's all the crap you're carrying around. Okay, if you define that as you, then okay, yeah, you are sabotaging yourself. You are getting in your own way. We don't need to figure out those definitions right now. But calling it self-sabotage also gives you a little bit of an idea of power over it. You can stop self-sabotaging yourself, right? Since it's you doing it, you can not do it. Sometimes it just takes a little jump out of the normal, out of the pattern, out of what you always do. Just do something else. Anything else. Replace whatever you're doing with something else. Give yourself some options. Because I know for me, it feels like there's no options. And that's kind of like the problem, right? It feels like there's just nothing else that I can freaking do. This is what I can do. And that's it. It's like your agency is removed. Like you can't decide. You don't have control over your own like life. You can't do anything. You're so stuck under this like weight that you can't even like move. But it doesn't really make sense, because what is the weight? It's a bunch of crap in your like brain and in your body that you're like carrying around. No one's here actually. Like your parent is no longer there over your shoulder telling you like what you can and can't do. Like they're not there. Is there anybody here? No. Would my parent want me to do this? To talk like this? I don't know. Does that matter? No, not really. The weight is not there, really. We carry it though, and it feels, obviously, so real and so heavy that it can like dominate our actual actions. Insane. So how to not do that? I don't know, that's an epic question. Maybe we can talk about that at a later date. But first we gotta acknowledge that we're doing this. Yes, we are obviously doing this. It's clear. It's everywhere. There are a select few, for sure, I mean, way more than you would want, who actually can't do anything. Their agency actually has been removed. Okay, but that's extreme. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, in general, what we're doing constantly. Most of everybody. In any case, more to come, I'm sure. Thanks.